Hello again in this instalment of Spiritual Wisdom. Welcome back, my wise followers. I'm grateful to all of you who follow me here. And if you're new here, my name is Nicholas, and on my channel I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, self-love, manifestation, and all matter of philosophical and spiritual topics. So if you like those types of things and you're new here, please subscribe. And if you like this content, please give me a thumbs up and click the bell icon so you'll be notified each time I post a new video. Today I'm going to talk about how you can't put people or the gods into boxes. Now, when you become wise, you realise that we've all been foolish at one point in our life, in the sense we didn't know any better or we were ignorant. And also I would say most of us who are spiritual, or most of us who are awakened, we're in a spiritual awakening, or we are spiritual awakening. We don't try and put people into boxes or gods or spirits, but society does. Society tries to put people into boxes, but you can't do that. So, for example, if we go back in history and we look at the male patriarchy, so it used to be a very male-dominated society. And in some cultures, like Greece and Rome, women did have, they did have rights and some level of respect, because these cultures were balanced in the sense you had the goddesses, goddesses some goddesses, but maybe back then would be looked at as a male-dominated role, like Diana was the goddess of hunting. So, because there was the feminine divine and the masculine divine, it was very balanced, the Roman, Greek culture and many others. And some cultures, women did have equal respect. But, in other cultures, women didn't have the same level of respect. But this was all society's attempt to put women into a box. Women are this, women are that, and women can only be this, they can't be that. So, and in some countries, society still tries to do that with women, put them into a box, and say, but women are this, women are that, or women should be this and women can't be that. That's putting someone into a box, limiting people. And that's foolish, because yes, they are, you could say, physiologically, men are stronger, but women are stronger in the mind, or you could make that argument. But really, anything a man does, a woman could do if they trained themselves to do it. But women are capable of lots of wonderful and amazing things. It's just depending on society's outlook, and society tries to put women into a box. It's the same with stereotypes. People think because someone is of that certain religion or they're that certain race, but they'll dress a certain way, they'll look a certain way, and that's trying to put someone into a box. It's the same with gay people. As a gay person myself, there's that stereotype where a gay person will dress funny, they'll have their nails done, and they'll talk funny. Now, some men who are gay will fit that stereotype, but not all will fit that stereotype. And it's a stereotype. It's trying to put people into boxes, and it's always foolish. Sometimes society does this when, and sometimes we may be guilty of it, where we might have a friend who's very introverted, meaning they're very shy, they're very into themselves, they're not very outgoing, they're not very talkative. So we think they'll never be outspoken, and sometimes society makes that assumptions about someone, but they'll never be outrageous or outspoken. But we've all got that outrageous or outspoken spirit within us. We've all got that. And you can't put people into boxes, because we as individuals are like onions. There are so many layers and so many different parts of our personality. And you can't put people of different races, religions, into boxes either. It's not wise. A wise person would not do that, because a wise person understands that individuals are capable of so much. Now, when it comes to gods, people might think, like Goddess Hecate, they try and put Goddess Hecate into a box. They think she's just the witchcraft goddess, which will only work with witches and help witches. But that's only one side of Hecate. People might think that she's controlling, That's not true. That's a misconception about Hecate. Yes, she is disciplinarian. She can be very strict and very tough love, but she can also be very nourishing. So you can't put Hecate into a box, you know. And also, some people think that with Aphrodite, she's just a goddess of love, but she's much more than just a goddess of love. So when it comes to different gods and spirits, you can't put them in a box. It's the same with Archangel Michael. People, you know, yes, Archangel Michael is on the light side, you know, light being, and yes, he protects people. Yes, he is a being of wisdom, protection, and light, but he's also a warrior, and he is capable of doing horrible things as well. You know, so light beings are also capable of doing horrible things as well, but only for the greater good, not for the sake of doing bad, but Archangel Michael would do something for the greater good. But you can fluff him up, but yeah, because he's on the light, but he's still a warrior. But it's never wise to put people or gods or spirits into a box. It's the same with demons. People think because demons are on the dark side, and a lot of demons, not all, but a lot of them are gods in their own right, and people think that you can put them into a box, but they're this, and they do these wicked and horrible things. Yes, some demons rule over these wicked and horrible things because someone has to rule over these wicked and horrible things. But people think they only do wicked and horrible things, but they're not capable of good when they are. It depends on that spirit, it depends on that being. And same with Hecate, you know, people try and put Goddess Hecate into a box, and I'll talk about Goddess Hecate trying to put her in a box in a later video, but it's never wise to try and put someone into a box. Some people might try and put you into a box, think, oh, you're outrageous, you're outspoken, so they might think you'll never be quiet, you'll never be peaceful. But that's a misconception, because we all have the ability to be quiet and peaceful. We also have the ability to be outspoken, outrageous, or what society perceives as outrageous, you know. And it's never wise to put anyone into a box, you know. And some people might think, you might have a friend who's very quiet, not very talkative, not very sociable around strangers. So people might think that person will never be outspoken, or they'll never have the confidence to speak to strangers, but they can. They've got that in them. It just needs awakened. So to fit people into like a box is never wise, because you can't fit people into a box. Because you can read people, but as a psychic, you know, as I do read people, you'll get energy off people, things they've went through in their past, things they're going through right now, things that are going to happen in a few months, weeks' time. But people's energy always changes, their aura always changes, their chakras, people's energy is always changing. So it's always foolish to think that you can put people into a box. Now, a lot of us are not guilty of that, but society is. People at the top, or certain individuals in society, think, oh, you're a woman, so a woman can't do X, Y, and Z, or you're this religion, or you're this person, you can never do X, Y, and Z, you know, or you can never do that, because... And sometimes society tries to limit people because of their religion, their sexuality, their gender. But again, society's not wise in a lot of ways, because it's foolish to put anyone into a box. And sometimes people try and do that with gods and spirits, because gods have got so many different aspects to them. Gods and people are the same way, in the sense the spirits and gods and we as people are like onions, many sides to our personality. To put someone in a box is just to say that that's what they are, and that's it. It's like saying Aphrodite is the goddess of love and that's it. But there's much more to her than that. And it's like saying Hecate is the goddess of witchcraft, that's it. Nothing more. When she's much more than just a goddess of witchcraft. So it's never wise to put people into a box, or gods. Never wise. And society tries to do that with lots of different people. Put them into a box under a narrative. And that's just foolish. And that's one thing I've learned as a spiritual person, you know, and through self-love, but there's so many sides to us, there's so many sides to spirits and deities, you can't put them in a box. You can't limit them to one thing or a few things, because deities will always, they can shape shifts, they'll always break that narrative. And we are not human beings. We're having a human experience, but in truth we're spiritual beings, we're multifaceted beings, so many different aspects to us. So society will try and maybe put certain groups of people into a box, but that's foolish, because there's so many sides to an individual. And as always, I hope this video helps, inspires, and society, or you might have felt at some point in your life, because of your gender, your sexuality, you might have felt with society tried to put you into a box, but just know that you can't be put into a box. And when you learn to love yourself, when you become spiritually awake, you're breaking out of that box, you're emerging, like a flower emerges and expands. We are growing, emerging and expanding. When you learn to love yourself, when you're on a spiritual journey, you realise that there's so many sides to you, you're emerging, and you understand that society might try and put you into a box. You'll realise that in history, you'd have rich people, would have certain ideas and beliefs and customs, but they would try and put peasants into a box, thinking a peasant can do this, do that, but they can't do this, when a peasant could do that and much more, So a wise person would never put anyone into a box. But society is not wise, because society tries to put many people into boxes, and people, in society might say, oh, because you're this and that, you can never achieve your dreams and goals. But you can achieve them by simply believing in yourself and listening to your heart, your inner voice, and not letting society put you into a box, and understanding that you can't put people into a box. And when you understand that, same with spirits and deities, can't put them into a box either. You become a wiser as well. And this is why with a spiritual awakening, there's different levels to a spiritual awakening. You're learning different things, and each day of your life is like a stepping stone. And that's one of the steps I've learned, where society does try and put people into boxes with stereotypes, and some stereotypes have a bit of truth in them, but they're not the whole truth. It's like the same with Scottish people, and I'm going to do a video on that on earthlings, because we're all earthlings, but some people might identify as Scottish, and then people who are not Scottish have got stereotypes about Scottish people, because they try and put Scottish people into a box, which is foolish, because you can't do that. And if you think you can put people into a box, or spirits, that's a delusion, because people are unpredictable. Spirits, gods, goddesses, we as individuals, we are like the wind, we're so unpredictable, and there's so many sides to our personality, and we're all wild spirits deep within. However, until next time, hope this video helps, I hope it inspires you, and I hope the lesson or the message in this video resonates with you as well. We've all got a wild spirit within us, what can't be obtained, and there's so many sides to our personality as well. However, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful and amazing day. Stay spiritual, stay philosophical, stay wise, and stay magical. Blessed be.